Kristen, David here. As you see, it's a rainy Thursday afternoon, and I just heard from the shipping company they're going to be here in about 2 hours, so I'm going to real quick do a quick walk around and just show you some of the features of this car that will probably be helpful that you'll want to know. It's unfortunate that it's raining, but what are you going to do? Okay, I'm going to go inside the car now and just go over a few things with you. The only way to open the gas cap, which is on the right hand side, on the side here, there's a little button. Where the heck is it now? There's a little button that you gotta excuse me, hit a couple of times, and you have to have the ignition off, otherwise the gas door will not open up. So the ignition off, hit that, and the door will open. And then inside, there's a few things that I wanted to show you. I just started up. There's some lights here in the dash that are for the ABS brakes, and a couple of them will go out once the pressure builds up in the pressure reservoir. That yellow ABS light, once you start rolling, will turn itself off. Windshield wipers. Well, here's your lights. It's kind of an interesting place for them. The headlights are on the left here, so that's how you turn them on. You just push those forward, and one is parking lights, two is full lights, and then for brights you just pull back on the stalk. Push it forward, just keep them on, and you'll get an indicator in the dash, or pull it back if you want to like flash somebody to warn them that the police were near the lane or something. The hazards are on top, and then over here is the mirrors. There's a little switch that'll give you right and left, and then the mirror itself, the side view mirrors, and these will go up or down, side to side. Of course, you've got a clock over here that's accurate, and some goofy gauges down here. This is your cruise control. Kind of interesting. This is the symbol for an expressway in Europe. So when that lights up, your cruise control is working. To activate the cruise, you drive, you have to go over about 35 miles an hour, and then you can set the acceleration on this side of the steering wheel. And then if you wanted to coast, you can reset or decel on this side, or if you hit the brake, it'll turn it off as well. And then once you're rolling again, you can hit set accelerator, and it'll bring you back to the last speed that you had. Turn signals, of course, right and left. You get a little trailer light that lights up on that. That is a friendly reminder that you may have a trailer on the back of the vehicle. The British are kind of quirky about that kind of stuff. I just turned the fans on here. These are very confusing for many people. The heating and cooling controls. You've got your fan speed switch over here. I just turned it on high. And then you've got your various functions. That would be fresh air inlet. This is recirculating air, or air that's in the cabin. This is a blend of outside and cool air, and this is for AC. So depending on what you want to do, you would use these. For example, that's AC. You'd have to have it in that position for the AC. This will give you a blend of AC and outside air. This is just recirculating cabin air, and again, that's fresh air intake. If you're going to be, in the wintertime, you'll always want to use the fresh air intake. Only use the AC, obviously, in the summer. And then you've got switches on either side. Over here, these are like for the vents, and you've got vent, which will give you outside air and also AC at these vents if you're in this position. However, you won't get any heat out of that vent. So for heat, you have to be at least in the middle, or you can do somewhere in the middle, or go all the way down into heat. I recommend they just, either go hot or go AC. And then, of course, you have your hot and cold switch here. Blue's cold, red's hot. And then you have the positions for where the heat goes. This is defrost on the top, obviously. This is a blend of defrost and feet. And this is just for the floor. And it's getting kind of foggy here, that's why I turned that on. You've got heated seats. The drivers, I'm not sure if the drivers works or not. You won't know. It's got to be kind of cold out before that'll happen, but I think if it's below 40 degrees, these things will come on. And so you can just give them, you know, press them and then wait a few minutes, and you'll feel heat coming up through the seats. The radio is AM, FM, stereo, weather band, and CD changer. The CD changer's in the back. I think I explained on the original video that I did where the CD changer was. You may need to reference that to see it. And then I also talk about the rear, the central locking in the rear does not operate with the key, so you'll need to lock the back hatch there if you've got anything valuable in the car. Otherwise somebody can just open it up and get in the car, so you'll want to keep that locked most likely. You have a stalk here. This is the rear wiper, and that goes, and it takes a few sweeps, then it stops, and then it'll start sweeping again. Also, there is a wash feature on it, but the washer motor appears to have quit working. You can find those on eBay all the time. They're pretty inexpensive, and they're easy to just pop in underneath the hood. This
another sad day for David. What a happy day for an all-lucky person that's getting this car.
I lost something back there. I was talking about the washer rear wiper, which is here. Sometimes you'll turn that on when you get in the car by hitting with your knee. It happens to me all the time. This is your windshield wipers. They've got various speeds. And then also if you go down one, you can put the intermittent wipe and you can change the speed on that from, you know, slow to quicker. Underneath the dash here, there's a little wheel that will turn the that's kind of hard to see it now because it's not too dark, but this will illuminate up or down the dash, you know, if you like it like less illuminated or more illuminated. The window switches are at your hand here. You know, they're up and down, and they're one touch on the driver's and passenger's front. You can just tap them one time and they'll roll all the way down. It's kind of nice for the drive-up banks. You've got your two rear window switches. Of course, they all operate, and there's a kiddie lockout. So if you use this, you lock the kids out from being able to switch them in the back seat. The parking brake, I don't recommend using it only because I don't use it. Most people don't with these. I'm sure if you had an emergency and you wanted to use it, by all means go ahead, but I do know that sometimes when you pull them on, they can seize, and then you'll have to somebody release it, which is like a big bar underneath the vehicle to push it back into place. So don't ask me how I know that, but actually it wasn't this vehicle, but I've had another one where that occurred. I think that's everything. Fuses are behind this little door here. Should you ever need to get in there, you shouldn't. There's a few more things over here to operate. What do we got? We got the headlamps, or the fog lamps in front if the lights are on. That'll give you fog lamps. This is a heated front windshield. So if you're running, you get the heated glass in the front. It'll take like you know, ice and stuff off the front without having to chip away at it. This is for the rear, and this is your interior lights. You also have interior lights on the mirror. You've got two of those. And then you have an anti-glare function. This is really nice. Instead of having to, you know, kind of pivot the mirror like you do normally, this will, you know, it depends on who's coming at you. When it gets hit with lights from the back, it'll glare down. It's a really nice feature. You don't know how nice it is until you have a car that has it. What else? What else? I think that's everything. Of course, the sunroof is up here, and you can, you know, pull the curtain up and over it if you don't like looking at it. I'm not a big fan of these. I just don't, you know, I like convertibles myself, but a lot of people love these things. And this will go, you know, backwards, forwards, and it'll tilt in the back. I think that's everything. You'll find more information in the owner's manual, so by all means, you know, give that thing a look too. But I think as far as just being able to get in and drive it, I've covered most of the things that you need to know. So Kristen, thank you so much. I'm sure you're going to love this car. I'm going to miss it. You know, once the market turns around and things get better for me, you know, hopefully in the next couple of years, I will certainly be back in the market for a Range Rover.